Okay, we're trading NQ futures. This is Trade of 8. This is the 1000 tick chart. And price right now is hugging the comma. You can see this line right here. I'll double click that. That's the paid to fade adaptive moving average. Call it the comma. This blue one, that's the EMA 21. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some scalping of 20 points with a 10-point pullback. So to set that up, let's go up here and click on this little gear gadget, and I'm gonna click on the drop down. I'm gonna remove this one so I can show you how to set up a new stop loss 10 and take profit 20. So I'm gonna delete that, and I'm gonna press this. Okay, so first you see it's gone from the list. Now I'm gonna press this little plus here, and you can call it whatever you want. I'm gonna call mine SL10 and TP20, and we're doing ticks, so we're going to have both a take profit and a stop loss. And if there's 10 ticks in a point, then to have a 10-point stop loss, 10 times 4 is 40. And if we want 20 points for take profit, 20 times 4 is 80. So we're going to save that. Now it's in our list. We can choose that. And let's take a look at what's happening over here. So see, we like this. NQ is breaking above that range it was stuck in. And we've got some of Trader Oracle's green buy dots here. So I'd love it if price would pull back to the comma, which is right here. So I'm going to put a buy order right there. But, you know, maybe we're too late because we got the buy dots appearing, we got momentum. Maybe it's not going to pull back. But let's just wait a bit and see. So what I want to show you today is doing a pullback strategy. We don't have to wait for it to come all the way back to the comma because sometimes it won't and you'll miss out on a good run. So instead, we could do a 10-point pullback strategy. So look at a high here, and let's move this just to show you an example. Let's say if the high was right here at 346, and I wanted to try to do a 10-point pullback strategy, I could pull this back to where my stop loss line is, and that's 10 points. And there we go. Now we got a limit order to go along at 336. And we're not there. We're actually up here. So now let's say we're up here. That's the new top.
Order filled.
And now we're long. It's not what I want to show you though. Let's keep going anyway. So I wanted to show you where the top is and then bring it back 10 points.
Order filled.
There we go. That's our 20-point take profit hit. So let's try another one. So if we say this is the top, which is say 380, and then I would put my limit order to enter at 370, and that makes the stop loss at 360. But is it going to be 380? Let's watch and see. So if I put the order in right now, it might get hit like it did down here. So instead, yeah, we're gonna put it at 3. I like the candle to close though to make sure that is the top. So there we go, it's just closed. So now we say that's 380, and now we're going to put it at 370, and hopefully it's going to come back and yes,
order filled.
Hit our entry. Now hopefully it doesn't go too far down and take us out. That was close. Almost hit our stop loss. And now we wait. And the idea is if price has momentum, whether it's going up here or whether it's going down, there's always going to be
Order
pullback.
filled.
Oh, there you go, 20 points of profit. There's always going to be pullbacks. It's very common for it to pull back 10 points. It could be more. So let's try it again. So now this candle closed at 388. Let's pull this back to 378. That's right about there. And let's see if price is going to pull back 10 points and get us in here. And if it doesn't, then, so be it. We didn't lose anything. If it, only comes down that far and continues up, oh well. Oh,
Order filled.
There we go. We're long now. Hopefully it doesn't come down another 10 points. It's already come down 10 points. Will it come down 20 points from that high there? Well, it's possible. But when price is trending, I got good momentum, and there's good distance between the price and the comma, then it's common for price to pull back 10 points before continuing on. So basically, from the high, I got a 10-point discount on it, and then it just has to go 10 points higher than the previous high, and that's not a lot. I think we could do that. So we're just going to hang on a bit more here. That was close. That was getting me nervous. But if it's only a 10-point stop loss, so if I miss out on this, it could be the trend is changing, or now we're going to consolidate or something. We have to reevaluate where we're at. Maybe the uptrend is ending, but it's only 10 points. And
order filled.
There you go. That's another 20-point gain. So if we did 3 20-point gains in a row, and then I miss out on a 10-point, I have a 10-point loss, that's still, I'm still up, and I don't mind that risk. So you get the idea, and let me show you a few more examples. Okay, we're back. So now this is 12. You see the time at the bottom, and it was an excellent run up here. And I love pullbacks to the comma. So once the price crossed the comma, there was a pullback. That's an excellent entry. And another one here, another excellent entry. And here, those are all excellent entries. So you can make a lot of gains while price is staying above the comma. Here it drops down and continues through, then that uptrend is over. Similarly here, when price was coming down, I was in on this one. I got the price came down, broke through the comma, pulled back to the comma here, and then I went short, and I picked up 100 points coming down here. And then when I saw price move up, I got out, and then I got stopped out here for 10 points because price came back to the comma, went through my stop loss, but when it continued down, I got in right about here. I didn't wait for another pullback. I just thought that was the pullback further than I expected. I got in here for another 100 points of gain. But sometimes price doesn't pull back to the comma like we would like. Sometimes it's just slowly trending uphill, and if I was waiting for the pullback here, there's huge gains I would have missed out. Let's see, 393 to, that's 50 points of gains up there. And I'd be wishing for a pullback the whole time. So another way is that strategy I just told you with a 10-point pullback strategy. So let's say we're watching and price is moving up here. We want to get in. This is the top of the candle. We let the candle close, and we say this is a long entry, 10-point stop loss, 20 points of gain. But I don't want to go long here at the tip. I never want to buy the tip. So I want a discount. I want a 10-point pullback. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this entry down to the same level as the stop loss here, and that's 10 points. Now I can do that calculation. I don't have to do it on the chart. I can do it in my head. But just for illustrative purposes, we're going to move this down to where the stop loss is. There we go. So from that high of this candle, 10 points is right here, and that would be our order entry. And price, could come a little lower, and luckily didn't hit our stop loss, moved up, and in just a few minutes hit our take profit here. So then we do it again. So we wait for let's say we move this entry to here, the top of this candle, and then we pull it back 10 points here. So in this case, price didn't come back down 10 points. We missed that, and price carried on. So let's try again. We're simulating. We're doing our own back testing here. So now we're at the top of this candle, and I can already see price is not pulling back enough to hit where our entry would be, where the stop loss is. That would be our entry. So, but let's move it up again. The top of this candle right here, for example. There, and then if we miss that entry, we just try again. Wait for another high here, and now we're going to pull this back 10 points, and there we go. We would have got in, would have came back, retested our entry again before carrying up and getting our 20 points there. And you get the idea. So like we move to a new high, say this one right here, but we don't enter on the tip here. We let it pull back 10 points, and in this case, it doesn't quite pull back. Didn't get us in, but it was very close. So we try again. Yeah, here's tip of the candle's a little touch higher. That's right there. And then pull it back 10 points. And we would have got in right there. And in just a few minutes, we'd get our 20 points there. So we could have got 50 points by just buying and holding, and that's great. Until price comes down here, and then we see the reverse and we get out. But instead, I could have made 2 or 3 20-point gains on the way up, just waiting for 10-point pullbacks. Now, is it always going to work? Well, of course not. Nothing always works. So if say this was our top here, price came back 10 points. And it would have got us in and then never went back up again. We get stopped up. But that's only a 10-point loss, and we know this little game we're playing, this little strategy of 10-point pullback, 20-point take profit is over. And then we got to look for the new entry. And after it finishes pulling back, I thought it was going to go further down than this, especially when I saw Trader Oracle's red sell dots appearing. But nope, it reversed. We get a higher high here, a higher low here, and a higher high here. We're staying above the comma here, and now we're on an uptrend again. So now we do the same thing, because I was expecting prices going to come down, but I don't want to play my expectations. I don't want to guess the direction. I want to trade in the direction. I want to trade the actual price action, not what I think is going to happen. So I remember this part. I made quite a few gains as it was going up the hill here. I kept thinking it was going to go back down, reverse and go back down. So I wanted to just try to capture small profits, 20 points at a time. So let's see, did I do this one? I think I did this one here. That's the high there, and it pulls down. It didn't get me in, so I missed that one because my entry would be right here. And that's okay. Sometimes you miss out. Let's do another one. So if I take this one right here, and then we pull it back 10 points, that's our entry would be right here. And wow, that would be close. We get in, and it would almost stop us out, but then quickly jump back up, and we get our 20 points. And then we do it again. So now let's say the high is right there now, and price comes back, not enough to get us in though, so then we wait for another new high, and we say right here, and then we pull it back 10 points. This is going to be our entry, and price did come back, got us in here, and then up for a quick 20 points in just a few minutes there. So the question is, when does this not work? Well, it doesn't work all over the place. If price is very choppy, like here, then that's not going to work. You're going to get stopped out all the time. If there's big price swings, if price is moving quick here, it's not pulling back. If it does pull back, it's probably going to pull back too far. So you want to avoid, and it's consolidating. And when prices has big swings, But there's this, even here, there's quite a few good entries. Although that's a pullback to the comma. That's a better entry with a pullback to the comma. But this is ideally what you want. When price is slowly creeping up, there's the price action is consistent. And there's a big pullback here, so you're probably going to get stopped out here. I remember I got stopped out here, but then I got back in here for lots of good action. And there's lots of good 20 point, 10 point pullbacks, 20 point gains you can get here. But this one, you're probably going to get stopped out because it pulls back way too far. But I don't worry about the occasional stop out if I'm getting multiple 20 point gains. It makes up for it. If I can get, 3 or 4 20 point gains for every 10 point loss, then I'll take that all day. You get the idea? I hope that helps.